All right. Hey, welcome everybody to World Gone Geeks. The podcast is really live. That's right. We're live here on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch right now with our podcast. And for those of you joining us live, we're so glad that you are here. For those of you joining us from podcast land a few days in the future, tell us what's going on because we'd like to know. I'm kidding. This is time for the show. We have a great guest for you tonight. He is an independent game developer working on a pretty awesome game. We met him at Cleveland Gaming Classic. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. We got lots of stuff in store, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back. And that was for the podcast people. You guys who are live, you get to stay right here as I bring on to the stage my co-hosts. Here they are. Please welcome
I am waving.
AKA Aaliyah and Utah. What is going on?
Greetings, programs.
How are you guys
What's
doing?
up?
Exterminate.
Utah has already playing with toys. We barely even
shoot. Are we live?
The show started and here he is. Yeah, so you got some pretty cool stuff there. Tell us what you've got.
Sorry. So I've got my Build-A-Bear bonuses this year, and in celebration of the new Doctor Who season coming with,
Gosh, I can't wait.
With probably one of my favorite pairings of Doctor Who, right? In terms of Doctor Who and companions. I have my K9 and my Dalek Build-A-Bears.
That is hilarious. And so
exterminate.
Do you get clothes for them, or are they like extras that come with the bear that you can dress?
I will be honest. I didn't check to see if there was like clothes and shoes and sandals and all that stuff like they have for other Build-A-Bears. I was just so excited that I had cute versions of these critters here that,
Yeah, I wonder.
So they sent them in the mail?
Well,
the Dalek floated because it can fly. K9 unfortunately cannot fly. K9 took a little while longer because he has wheels and had to. And look, see, there's the Build-A-Bear.
I mean, did you go to the Build-A-Bear place and get these?
You ordered them, right?
No. I don't do brick and mortar anymore. Ever since the pandemic.
So you can get a bear, I assume, and dress it like any one of the doctors, and then these are the companions that go with it, right? Is that
yes? No, see, so now what
concept?
Yep. So now what you've done is you planted the seed in my head that I feel like I need to get a Build-A-Bear.
You need a doctor
of the 10th Doctor.
I was going to say, the 11th doctor would it be?
With the modern Doctor. So classic Doctor Who, the 4th Doctor, Tom Baker, is the one I grew up with. He's the one that me and my dad watched on PBS. Late at night.
Got the scarf too.
Right. Exactly. And that huge scarf and his hat, and he was great. But for the modern era, I kind of have to give it to David Tennant. Just his interpretation of the Doctor was so great, and the energy that he brought to it, and he did it for so long. I mean, don't get me wrong. Without Christopher Eccleston, he was the first modern Doctor. Without him, there's none. There's nothing else.
Yeah.
I think about the modern era, David Tennant is probably my favorite. I enjoy Jodie Whittaker. I thought it was cool being a female Doctor. She did a great job.
She had unfortunate writing. She was very good,
but
not the best. I think some of the stories were not great, and there was one whole season that was just awful, in my opinion.
I felt like it was the first one.
No, it was the one where it was like all one story. It was
that whole
with the weird aliens.
The
one Doctor Who with the weird aliens.
The one Doctor Who season with the weird aliens. That one. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying though. What was it? Why am I drawing such a blank right now?
I don't remember.
It had a weird name like Flush or something. It was like and Flush was what I wanted to do to it. That wasn't the actual name of it.
It
wasn't a great season. It wasn't a great season, though. She was a great Doctor, and some of my favorite episodes she was in, including the one where the Daleks are in that storage facility, and it was like Groundhog Day. Flipping great. Yep. That's some great sci-fi right there. Anyway,
some good stuff right there.
Doctor Who, very cool. Well, hey, I have some show and tell today too. I don't usually do a show and tell, but I got to because this is I'm really excited about this. I got.
Oh, I want to see this. Yes. Show me.
eBay,
there
is my Bruce Willis, The Return of Bruno vinyl.
See, isn't that the only album he released?
No, he released several. This is how we used to listen to music back in the day, Aaliyah. So
You're
they would
Aaliyah.
put it on
Aaliyah.
these big discs.
Apparently, I'm seasoned now, so
That's right.
I'm supposed to know all these things.
No, he had a whole HBO special with this, and then he did this
Yes.
album. He released another one. It's a lot of blues and rock and kind of it's good stuff. People are
He
like,
could
"Well,
sing.
he sure can. Yeah, he does
Absolutely.
some cool stuff.
He
Yeah,
was, he was a triple threat. He could
harmonica
sing,
player.
act, and
Yeah.
dance.
And the
Wow.
reason this excites me is
Have you not
because-
seen Hudson Hawk?
Oh no, she has not, but she will. We'll make sure. The reason I'm excited about this era of Bruce Willis, we all know what's happened. That likely he had aphasia, likely has dementia. Like he's
Yeah,
done acting, and that pretty much gutted me because he's my favorite actor of all time. But I just found out the news that Moonlighting, which has been forever not on streaming, they never came to Blu-ray. They released a DVD collection back in the day. This was the show he was on before Die Hard.
Yeah,
made him a
DVDs were how we
gigantic
used to
movie star.
watch videos.
Say that again. Yeah, MTV used to have it.
I was just telling Aaliyah how that's what DVDs were.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
But
Give an
Moonlighting
example?
is coming to Hulu, and
Yes.
all of the seasons of it.
All of the
And
seasons,
I am
every
so
single
excited.
episode.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would love
Now
for
I
it to be streaming in the sense that I could buy it digitally and like watch it whenever I want, in case Hulu decides
Yeah.
not to at some point.
Correct.
But yes, it's finally coming. It's music rights. They used a lot of modern music and a lot of different songs. Sometimes they performed or was in it, and so you have to get the rights. You originally had them for broadcast. Then you want to put it on DVD. You got to get the rights for DVD. Then you want to put it on Blu-ray. You got to get the rights for Blu-ray. Well, they never got past DVD.
Nope.
And so they finally have settled some of the stuff, I guess, and gotten all the rights. And here it's coming to streaming. So I'm very excited about that because, we'll never see another Bruce Willis Die Hard, but we can enjoy Moonlighting again, which is, just a really amazing.
That's some great stuff.
Time.
I mean, Bruce Willis and Sybil Shepherd had such great chemistry in that show.
It
they
was
were really.
That was.
It was such a good show.
Yeah, any of the. I mean, it really set the stage for a lot of the kind of
the other comedy sitcoms.
Will they, won't they kind of
right, like
relationships on
Cheers
television.
and Frasier and all that.
Like Moonlighting was the best one in my opinion. That was great.
I need like a list of all of these things that I need to watch.
You can't.
I feel like I can't.
You can't keep up. You won't be able to keep up with all the weird nostalgic things that we have. But there are certain ones, that you'll want to watch. I think you'll enjoy that if you check it out on Hulu. It's a fun show.
One of my favorite episodes is when they did Taming of the Shrew.
Yes, I was going to bring that up, but I thought I'd probably talk for an hour about it, and we got a guest tonight, so we won't.
That's one of my favorite episodes of television. Really,
yeah,
it was just so well done,
so fun. All right.
Well, I have stuff.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about what you've got.
What is that?
It's the Forbes 30 Under 30 Summit water bottle.
Where'd you get that? Where did you get that?
Oh, I wonder where I got it.
Where did you get it?
The Forbes 30 Under 30 event. It is happening.
Nice.
It kicked off yesterday, and then it goes until Wednesday. Lotto was there. Halsley was there. Bad Bunny was there. He did Bad Bunny. He did a pitch contest today. And then someone else is performing tomorrow. But the panels were really amazing. I've learned a lot. And then last week, so Thursday and Friday, I was at Futureland, which is like a tech conference here in Cleveland, because they're really trying to make Cleveland a tech hub, which I definitely see the vision that they are going into. And it was really interesting because they had an esports gaming panel.
Esports.
Yeah. There was only 2 women, no women on the panel, but only 2 women in the actual session, and it was me and this other girl. And I really only showed up because of you guys. I was like, let me see if they're dropping any nuggets for the podcast. I'm like, let me see if they're dropping any nuggets for this. But I thought it was going to be like esports and gaming, but it was more so just esports. So
Hey, esports is gaming though, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean,
Technically, isn't it?
not necessarily like competitive gaming. I thought they were also just going to talk about, kind of gaming.
Just regular gaming,
Yeah,
gaming,
yeah,
gaming.
just yeah, not esports gaming. But a lot of great tidbits, and it's been really exciting.
Futureland.
Yeah,
Cleveland-
Futureland.
Cleveland is going to be Futureland. The future is
Yeah.
Cleveland, the city of tomorrow.
Yes,
The land of Clee in the future.
that's right.
Future Clee. Cleve Future
Land.
Land. Future
Well,
Cleveland.
We have a couple of quick announcements to make. So as a follow-up to Cleveland Gaming Classic, which was a few weeks ago, very exciting. We did some
fun.
fundraisers for Extra Life. A lot of fun raising money for Extra Life. One of those was a Mario Kart challenge where people were trying to beat Mario Kart SNES Rainbow Road version, the SNES version of Rainbow Road on Mario Kart. We didn't restrict. We eventually stopped restricting like who they could use and everything to just kind of keep it even more competitive.
We just try and make it rent.
Finally, got down to the end, and there was a winner whose record was set early afternoon on Saturday and held from
It
then
held
on,
through Sunday?
basically. Oh yeah.
Well, I mean, it was a pretty good time.
It got to the point, unfortunately, where I feel like people didn't want to donate anymore.
They didn't want to do it.
Try because
Oh wow.
they knew that they were not going to beat this, perhaps. But that didn't stop everybody. Like some people came in and dropped like there was a guy who set the record earlier in the day.
Well, there's Ryan. I remember
that was Ryan who came back.
Yeah.
and
multiple times.
He paid and went
Like
through and
20
came really
bucks.
close. Came really close, but he didn't end up doing it at the end. At the end, this was the dry erase
Jacob.
board we used. Jacob or Jake B. I don't know exactly how he does that.
It's related to Aaron.
But he did that in 1 minute
Jacob.
30 and 0.395.
That's
Very
a
very
good
fast.
time.
Almost
Yeah.
no
Good
one.
time.
A friend of his who was with him, his companion, did it in like 1:33, I think, or something. That was as close as anybody
a
could
few
get.
seconds off.
Turns out, apparently, he's like number 2 in the state in Mario World competition.
That is
competitive Carter?
so
He's a
impressive.
competitive Carter.
So
Okay.
we should have made him wait till
Speaking of-
Sunday so that more people would
Right?
have donated. No, I'm kidding. More people did donate, but but he
Oh,
won.
hey, Jared. Good to see you. Thanks for watching the show.
Yeah, that's right.
Dark Dracula 17.
Yeah. So Jacob or Jake B, however it could be his
Jacoby.
username. I don't know. He's getting a
Jacob.
copy of Halo courtesy of Paramount.
Oh, look at that physical
also-
media. Is that a Blu-ray?
It is. He's
Oh,
also
Leah,
getting,
Blu-rays are things where we watch videos on.
He's also getting a copy of Top Gun Maverick courtesy of Paramount.
Halo
And,
and Top Gun Maverick.
and he is
Wow.
getting a digital copy of
Scream?
Super Mario Wonder,
Oh,
which comes out on
not
October
Scream.
20th. So I will be
I
sending
was thinking
him
movies.
an email with the code here shortly to confirm that it's him, and then get his address so we can send the physical media to him. But that was the Nintendo Switch portion of our giveaway. So congratulations
go,
to him.
Jacob.
Thank you so much to
Congratulations,
everybody who
Jacob.
Let's go, Jacob.
participated in that. Everybody who donated had a chance that they could, then use to try to beat that score. All the other donations, everyone who didn't win that was entered into win
Into a
the grand
raffle.
prize, including Jacob. So he was in that as well. But we drew a winner, a little red ticket here, and I'll have it in my hand. Who is
And?
the actual winner of our grand
That's my
prize? The
drum.
grand prize. I'm not going to read it yet. I'm telling you what the grand prize stuff is.
Oh.
You're a little soon with the drum roll there.
Sorry.
I was excited. We were
But,
excited. Come on.
Yeah.
that- That person is winning a grand prize package that includes those
Those
these.
2 movies.
So if it is Jacob, he's getting 4 though.
He's
two
getting
each.
he's getting 2 copies of those movies.
And then what else? Where did I put that stuff?
I don't know.
I
Did you mail it already?
had it. No, I literally
Are you
just
sitting
had
on
it
it?
all. Oh, here it
Are you
is.
sitting
We
on
should
it?
have kept with the drum roll.
I put the Bruce Willis and the
Oh,
the
you
thing on top of it.
No,
they're also
they're
getting
not
some
getting the
World
Bruce
Gun
Willis.
Geek swag.
They're
They're
not getting
getting a World Gun Geek
nice.
T-shirt.
Look at that shirt. That's a great
along
shirt.
with
I don't
those
even
That's a
have
nice
that
logo.
shirt.
They're
I
getting.
wonder whose logo that is.
These were donated by a lovely
one of the vendors.
vendor there.
Yeah.
He donated Zuckus,
Yes.
which is Bounty Hunter
Yes.
from Star Wars, Funko Pop. This
Yes.
person
There's a
is
Zuckus
winning
among
that.
us.
And they're also winning this giant Batman pop that's bigger than my head, which is saying a lot. So look at that. That's a big
Batman.
one. So those were donated. Those
Who
were
is
donated
that?
by a vendor.
Batman.
Very thankful to him for donating those. And the big prize is that it will be a all access pass to the Cleveland Gaming Classic next year. So
Yes.
all of
Let's
this
go.
is going out to someone that is on this red ticket that I pulled. All of this stuff will be shipped to them. The pass will come a little bit later because they haven't even put them on sale yet. So I haven't even able to score that. But as soon as I do, that will be sent to them. And the winner, and I don't have my glasses on. I'm gonna turn this light on here. Hold on.
Oh, are we ready for the drum roll?
Now we're ready for the drum roll. Go ahead. All right. The winner is Stephen Cox. Stephen Cox.
Yeah, let's go.
I almost showed his email to the world. Hold on.
Let's not do that.
Yeah, there he is. Stephen Cox,
Yay.
everybody. He is the winner of all of those things. And we think, you know what? That name sounds familiar, and I think I know why. I'm going to look at something real quick.
Does he work for the cable company?
No. He's ineligible. No, I'm kidding. He's not. That would be cruel, wouldn't it, if it turned out to be?
That would be awful.
Oh, he's my cousin. He's not eligible. No. Aha, and this is why it's familiar. Stephen Cox was in there quite a lot. So he donated $30. So he had 30 tickets in that. So he had a really good chance of winning.
Yes.
There were a couple other people who donated big like that too, but he was one of them. And so, it paid off. He got all that stuff. And he helped the kids with Extra Life. So
all
congrats,
for the kids.
Stephen Cox.
Congratulations,
thank you so much
Stephen
for supporting
Cox.
Extra Life and helping support the cause there. We are still raising funds for Extra Life. We hope that you will jump on that opportunity if you can. It's to support your local Children's Miracle Network hospital, wherever you are. Even if you're not here in the Cleveland area, you can support your local Children's Network hospital by going to extra-life.org, finding out more about how you can do your own gaming fundraiser for that hospital. So we encourage everybody to participate so that children's hospitals everywhere are getting involved. However, down below Utah's head there, you can see a link where you can actually donate to ours, mine in particular, but that will all go to Rainbow Babies and Children's Hospital here in Cleveland. So if you'd like to donate anything, $1, $5, whatever, that'd be great. We do have some more giveaways coming up in the next month or so to help raise money for this. So you're going to want to follow us on all the socials so that when that stuff happens, you can get involved and maybe you can donate to win as well. So thanks again to all of our people who participated in that at CGC.
Yes.
You guys, we love you. And
love you
Extra Life
guys.
is going to benefit greatly from all of this. So,
yeah.
all right, cool. So all of that said, we have an amazing guest here tonight. Who is here to talk about. I've been kind of chatting with him over Twitter for the last few months. Finally got to meet him in person at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. He is a game developer. He has been a creator basically from the moment he could hold a pencil, which I assume was quite young, unless they didn't want him to have sharp objects that young. I don't know. But his artistic journey has taken him down various exciting avenues, from cartooning to animation and even the world of musical theater. He's dabbled in all of it. However, he stumbled upon game development, and it seems that there he is finding his true calling. So over the past decade, he's been crafting games all by himself, and his dedication has paid off with several small game jams and class projects under his belt. He's built a reputation in the Ohio indie development community, and his current project, Maiden, is a testament to his passion for game development. So we're going to take a look at Maiden's the trailer, and when we come back, we're going to be talking with the developer himself. Here we go.
Wow.
That is epic.
Hello, everyone.
The ending always gets me.
So-
I love that ending so much. I that character Nestor, that's the character's name. I designed him to be specifically punchable. That was my whole intention behind him.
Well, welcome to the stage. Whatever, this is not a stage, but you know what I'm saying.
I know
It's a
what you're talking
virtual
about.
stage.
Of Tasty
The whole
Games.
world's a
Welcome.
stage.
That's true.
Yes.
Welcome. It's so glad to have you with us here and
Thank you.
take a look at the trailer of your game there. I had an opportunity to play it a little bit at or on the demo.
Mhm.
And but as I've told you when I met you, there's a caveat at the very beginning that you should use.
Yeah.
You should use a controller, which I immediately ignored and tried to do with a keyboard. And let me just tell you, it's probably a lot easier with a controller. So I got to get back in there and try that. But it was fun.
Jeff.
The game mechanics are really cool. And I want to know all about it. I want to talk all about it, but we want to get to know you a little bit as well, AJ.
Yeah.
So you are doing game development now. I kind of teased a little bit of how you the path which brought you here, but put it in your own words. Tell us exactly kind of what got you into game development in the first place.
So I kind of started off as like a cartoonist. I wanted to be some kind of cartoonist or like a comic book author when I was a kid. I kind of grew up reading like like Charles Schultz and Dave Pilkey, and those were kind of like these weird, silly comics that always made me smile and laugh. And I was like, oh, I want to do something like that. And so for the longest time, I was kind of just like working. And this is like elementary school, 5th grade, that kind of stuff. I was making these comic books by myself, and was just kind of like, I'm gonna like polish these up when I'm an adult and then publish them or whatever. And then one day, this kid at my school like started bragging about how he could make an Xbox game, and that kind of gave me some pause because I'd played video games before. I loved Pokemon and Mario and all this stuff, and I thought that those things were awesome. And it never really occurred to me that people can just make this stuff like they don't need to like get permission from Nintendo or whatever to start developing a game. They can just do it on their own. And so that's kind of set me on this path of teaching myself different things like animation, coding, and messing around with different game engines, and eventually we've gotten here.
That's awesome.
That's amazing.
And you talked about some of your inspirations there, as far as Dave Pilkey and Charles Schultz. The artwork is what drew me immediately to the game in the first place. I find it's really cute and clever and fun and stylistic. And even the gameplay, everything about it kind of has a little bit of a Scott Pilgrim kind of like Scott Pilgrim Jr. kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Like it's not
Very
quite
nice.
as, which is fun when they come out and they're all the champions are standing there. I'm like, oh, we've got to defeat all these people.
Yeah, that was and even just kind of like the visual direction for the game was for me trying to kind of like go back to that comic book route that I had started with. So like you'll see in the game, I put like onomatopoeias everywhere. Like when you like run into the wall, it'll go bonk, or when you land on the floor, it'll go phoot. And even like when the characters stop, like a comic book frame kind of like goes around the border of the screen, and then you have like the word bubble. And that was just kind of like me trying to kind of like harken back to those things that I like to draw when I was a kid, and then bring them into my modern work, if you will.
Yeah. What were so we kind of covered before we came on the air that Aaliyah has now joined the seasoned group of people on the
Yes.
stage here with us today because she is no longer the youngest person in the room.
Although I am flattered that you said I was young. Thank you very
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm not going to say anything. I'm nice enough as it is.
Yeah.
Put the shovel down. Put the
Put
shovel
it down.
down.
Yes.
I tried to walk you right into that one.
Take that
But-
drill away. Put it down.
Tell us but you are, I mean, you're obviously a young guy. How old were you when you started like coding, when game development, like how many years now have you been doing that?
Well, on my resume, I say 7 years academically, and
Keyword is academically, huh?
academically, because that's the amount of time that I've spent like at school learning this kind of stuff. But realistically, it's been well over 10 years. I started messing around with like iOS development in like 6th grade or whatever, and I was just
Wow.
kind of like
Oh,
sketching
wow.
up like ideas. I was using this old tool called Game Salad. I don't even know if it's still around, honestly, because I remember watching like just going through all these different applications. Like I'd say like, and this is also kind of like how I got exposed to all this stuff was my parents were always like very, very supportive of me, like pursuing my creative stuff. So like I'd come home from school one day and my dad would bring home like some kind of like Adobe animation like disc or whatever, and we'd plug that into the Mac and we'd spend like a weekend just like figuring out how the software worked. And then by then it was kind of like, okay, this is cool, and then you kind of like pick it up and you put it back down. But then I think it was around high school. That was when things really started picking up, because by then I had like a lot more of an attention span. I had a lot more patience, so I could spend a little bit more time on like YouTube, like watching coding tutorials and learning some different practices and experimenting. And then I think college was when I really put my foot to the gas pedal and went like, okay, like this is something that I think I really want to do and I really want to get good at. And so that was what pursued me into my undergrad, which was in games and simulation.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
And so how long has Maiden then been part of that journey? Like the idea?
Relatively lesser than the rest of them. Maiden was my last project I made before graduating. It was actually my senior capstone project. So the demo that's up on Steam right now, that was what I had spent my last year of school developing by myself. And in between that, I was also building like all of the game's systems. It kind of came as it started off like how all games do. It starts off as a small little prototype on your desktop that is like,
Right.
oh, this is kind of fun. And then eventually you just kind of sit down and you go like, I think that I kind of want to like do a little bit more with this. The original like concept for the game was just like, it was this character that could swim in 360 degrees, kind of like the Rayman Legend games almost. Or the inspiration for me was like the Ori and the Blind Forest games. There was like this one area where there's just this big pond you could just kind of like swim around in 360 degrees. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. Like you could kind of like jump in and out of the water and transition from this like Mario style platformer into like this swimming game. And then I kind of went, it would be interesting if you did that in the ground, because if you did that in the ground, then you technically couldn't stop moving forward, and you'd have to kind of like be it would kind of like force you to keep this like what I call like a flow state, where you have to kind of like chain moves again and again and again to create this kind of like dopamine rush in your brain of like, oh, cool, I can jump here. And then it's kind of like doing combos, but for like different player actions and stuff like that. And so, from there, it stemmed into an underground setting. And then the story took some turns. It was kind of funny. I'm going to jump into some Maiden lore here for a little bit for those who are interested.
We love lore.
Yeah, the story was originally it was actually not going to be like an adventure game, but rather like a course clear like platformer game. And you would kind of like speed run through these different levels, and while you were doing that, you'd have to like free miners that were trapped in like Rock Rebel or something, right? And then you kind of like get a time and go like, woo, cool, and then move on to the next stage or whatever. And then I decided to just take the plunge into making an adventure game because I had around high school, that was when I discovered Metroid, and just totally fell in love with the concept of like this giant world that was basically like this one giant grand like Zelda dungeon that you had to kind of like pick apart as you found different abilities or whatever. And so then it turned into the story kind of turned from this like kind of like skill-based game into this skill-based game, but now the story is it's like a giant job interview to be something called like a burrow miner, but I had no idea what that was. And so then it eventually turned into this story about having like a goal or a dream or like a thing in life that you want to do, and what is how do you overcome the challenges, or like kind of like gamifying the process of like grinding at your dream until you eventually succeed, which I think is a story that's very personal for me as a artist, and I think is very personal for a lot of different people. And that was kind of what I stuck with because I felt like it had a very resonating and impactful message.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that's so
very cool.
good. It really
you.
kind of reminds me of like Dig Dug a little bit, but
No, that's funny. It's funny. There's okay. I'm a crazy artist person, so there's lots of references in my games. Like one of the Dig Dug is one of my favorite arcade games. I love that
Classic.
game
It's very
so much.
good. Yeah.
And I love it so much that I based the font of the logo off of the Dig Dug logo.
Nice.
Yeah. If you look at it, you don't notice it, but when you look at it, it's like, oh yeah, I see the similarities.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm really curious about the like what was that transition? Did you do all of the like coding, all of the artwork? Like do you have a team behind you? Is it just you? What is that like?
90% of the work is me. But occasionally I will bring in people that I know or some small contract work here and there to like help me keep up with the production schedule that I've set for myself. So like all of the story and the code and the level design and the character design and the music and the voice acting in the game, that's all me.
Well, are you Nestor?
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah,
that's amazing. I love it.
I'm also Penny too. I'm like, yeah, wee, yippee. I'm also Penny. And
great.
then even like that Maiden at the start, that's all me, but like layered with different like pitches or whatever. So
okay.
I love
Nicely
that.
done.
Yeah, and then the like the editing and even like the cool renders that are in like the thumbnail or whatever, those were drawn by a really good friend of mine, Panda Party Art. I'm gonna give her a little Instagram shout out because she's awesome. I've worked with her on many different projects. She's awesome. And then the trailers were edited by my buddy Chris, who's in the chat somewhere in here. I know he's there. Chris Wolf, that's him. He's the best video editor I know. So every time I need something done in After Effects or whatever, he's the first guy that I go to.
Nice.
Wow.
Well,
we love
now,
the people.
Now
the gang.
Now you know me, so you know another. We'll
there
have
you
to
go.
see who the best.
Another editor.
I'm just playing.
Oh, when I need some audio work done or some mixing, I definitely know who to call now.
The there we go. There's Chris.
There he is.
His avatar's a little on the nose, I think, though.
Yeah, a little bit.
That's great.
Nose.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. And I've totally forgotten what I was going to ask now. I had a question right going into that, and now I decided to make a joke instead. Take it away.
Can I jump in? Okay,
yes.
because I see your production board. Like, do
Oh,
you do
yes.
this like quarterly? How do you assess this?
So it's the whiteboard's actually a recent addition to my little studio that I have down here. I've always wanted a whiteboard, and I got one this month after the Cleveland Gaming Classic. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
Mhm.
So I mostly take things in monthly sprints that are comprised down into like 4 weekly sprints, right? And for those of you who know like Scrum or project, like, project management stuff, that makes sense to you. But like a sprint is essentially like a week-long time period where you have like a certain theme of things that you need to do, and then you have tasks, and then you move that all along. Because that was one of the classes I took in college, and I took that for this exact reason, to keep myself on task with a bunch of stuff. Just because I knew that coming out of school, I was going to be juggling a lot of different things. Like I don't do this full time. Like I have several different like contract jobs and part-time gigs that I do in between things while I'm actively job hunting. And then I come back and I usually have like 5 to 4 hours that I set aside in the evening to work on this stuff. But the board, where the board comes in, is this is me trying to transition into being a lot more professional about my production timeline, because now I'm in the process of getting ready to start pitching to publishers and stuff like that, so I can eventually do this full time. But this is my new board. This is a new setup that I'm trying here. I have like the bigger tasks that I want to get done on there, and then just like a small shopping list. And then to keep me under pressure, I have a little countdown up here at the top where you can see how many days are left in the month. So this way I can look at the board and go like, oh, I've only got 23 days left. I better get this done, or I better work on that. So this way it doesn't fall behind. It just kind of helps with preventing me from procrastinating. Like I think I got the idea from playing Persona 5, because in those games, and that game, it sounds crazy, but that game really taught me the benefit of having a deadline and not giving me a set of lists of tasks to do before that deadline came up, because then it fell on me and I was like, oh, okay, I got to plan out my week now, and I gotta set aside some time to boost my stats, and then raise my confidant level, and then go into the dungeon and make some progress there. It's weird, like you'd expect, like, I don't know, something else other than a video game to teach you like important life skills like that. But
that
for
must
me,
be
it was
the reason
Persona 5. That's how it happened.
That's
More
gotta be
often
the
than not,
reason
it's
that
the
I
case.
couldn't
Yeah.
finish it, because I can't.
Because it wasn't structured enough.
No, it was too structured. I mean, you have to like
Too
you have to
structured.
do all that. I mean, I have a hard enough time doing that in real life. When I get into
Right,
a
yeah.
game, I just wanna. I don't. Well, Utah, no, I don't even want to drive. Right? I just want to get in there and shoot things. Or solve
I
a
don't want you to
mystery.
drive in the video game either. It's not just you.
Nobody wants Jeff to drive in the video
Nobody
game.
wants Jeff to
Just
drive
keep
in
him
the
away
video
from
game.
Mario Kart.
Well, going back to
just-
Mario Kart, just so that minute 30, the next on Sunday, I tried it myself and I was closer to 3 minutes. I fell off.
Time
of that,
trials. Time trials. I got a lot of respect for people who do time trials in Mario
nuts.
Kart. I've kind of dabbled in it a little bit myself, and there's like a lot of like speedrun tech that goes into those things. I have mad respect for time trialers.
Yeah. So tell us
Just
a little bit. Oh, do you have a
I want
question?
to ask JJ briefly. So is that Penny in the corner reminding you to get stuff done in the whiteboard there?
Yeah.
Actually, this is the Penny Sandy from the Cleveland Gaming Classic that we had printed out for my booth. That was kind
Cool.
of
Could stick your
that's a
face in
little
there.
Yeah, you could stick your face in there and take a photo, and it's
Oh,
got
I
the
see.
Maiden logo on the bottom
Yeah,
there.
yeah. And then is she drawn in the corner on the whiteboard on the bottom corner there? Who is that on the bottom corner?
She just has a little motivational quote. It says like "Don't give up" on there or whatever. It's just something to motivate me.
I love it.
Very sweet. That's cool.
A lot of times when we have anybody who's a gamer of any kind, game developer included, what is your first video game memory? Like what was one of the first video games you remember playing as a kid that kind of got you into games?
I think it was I actually have this story locked in pretty vividly. It was Pokemon Yellow on the original Game Boy.
Mm.
So
Wow.
and it's a weird story how I got it, because essentially what happened was I still, the details are still fuzzy on this, but somehow my grandparents found a copy of this game in a parking lot somewhere, and they were like,
In the
"Oh, AJ
parking
has a
lot.
Game Boy." I don't know. It was I was like I don't know. I must have been like 7 or something. I was really young. And somehow it found its way into my hands. And at that time, I was very much into like baseball. I was like a real big sports fanatic about baseball. And when I booted up the game and the character comes in, like the Pokemon trainer, he was like literally wearing the exact same outfit I was wearing at the time. And I was like, whoa, how did it know?
Wow.
What? And then
The destiny.
yeah, and then the even crazier part was when it told me to put my name in, and then people in the game started referring to me by my name. That was like, I can be in a video game? This is amazing. And then, that kind of just, and I was like, I got to play more games and that. But I think that was like the first big memory. And I played that game constantly as a kid, but I didn't know how to save. So every time I went to play it, I started a new game every time.
Start over.
Yeah, and I didn't know how to read either, so I was just mashing the A button, and the Pikachu was just like shooting like cannonballs at things. I'm like, oh yeah, this is fun. This is
That's
doing something
hilarious
for me.
But you remember the feeling. That's what's important.
Yeah.
At what
that was like my first real big
realize
gaming memory. Yeah.
At what age did you start to realize that you could put anything in there as the name? Like, everybody, at some point made it my butt, or,
Right.
your mom.
Your mom.
When you first start playing, competitive games in like SOCOM and Call of Duty, and it's like your mom. You call yourself your mom, and then in their feed, it's like you were killed by your mom.
You were killed by your mom.
It's interesting though, because like I never grew up with like that Xbox 360 online gaming experience. Like most of my gaming was kind of locked behind like single player games, because like I don't know, we just never had a 360 until like much later, and by then the Xbox One had come out. So that never really happened until I went to college. Like my first year of college, I went to Bowling Green, and I ended up
let's go Falcon.
Yeah, that was my first year of college. And I ended up going to the retro game store up there and just kind of like working there part-time and just fixing up games. And the guy who owned the store, he was like super cool about it. And he would always like let me like borrow like a PlayStation 3 or whatever. And that was kind of like how I accumulated my backlog of like 7th generation console stuff that I had never played. And then, eventually I started the game dev track, and that's where we're at now.
So how often do you play games now that you're making them? Like, do you get time to play some games? And if so, what are you playing right now?
I don't get the time to like sit down and like play a game, like a new game, as often. Like I got Elden Ring, and I maybe play that like 2 hours every other week. And I've just made it to the city like 2 years after the game came out or whatever. And I still don't have any good gear. So I'm just kind of like dying over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But
you played it for about an hour and 56 minutes longer than I did then. So.
Yeah. I was stuck on the Moon Queen, I think, for like 5 months, and I finally beat her. And that was a very emotional day for me.
Yeah, I just
it's quite an accomplishment. So.
Yeah. But recently, since moving back to Cleveland after college, I've been involved in like a lot of more like game dev circles, and so naturally I'm meeting all these cool people, and all their games are up on Steam, and I want to play all of them. So I invested in a Steam Deck, so that way I can play it like in 15-minute intervals in between like different tasks or whatever. Because that's what I liked about my Switch. I play my Switch very heavily, but that's only because if I have some downtime, that's when I can like pull it out and like play it for like 15 minutes before I can turn it back off and get back to what I was doing. I don't have to like block out some time in my day to like sit down in front of the thing and get all comfortable or whatever. And so that's what I like about the Steam Deck is it's letting me kind of like tackle that backlog that has been building up, and I can finally get back to like all my game dev friends and be like, yo, I played your game, it's so cool, I got through like this level, or I beat this, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
I've been thinking about the Steam
And
Deck.
it's
You
a business
like it?
expense.
Yeah.
So-
And it's a business expense. Exactly.
There you
Exactly.
go.
That's the other reason why I bought it,
See, I need
so I
to-
can take it to shows and show my game around.
How do I
There you
how do
go.
I make that a World Gun Geek business expense, Utah? How do I write that off?
Let's
You
take
can
that. Let's take
start
that,
a World
off-
Gone Geek
off air.
gaming channel,
Is
and
that what it
then
is?
play it through the
I think
Steam
that's
Deck.
the way to do it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we do have the Twitch, and we're affiliates now, so
Oh, that's great.
We got rated just a bit ago
We
Ooh,
did.
on Twitch. Thank
That's
you,
awesome.
Sean.
Rated. I'm thought. Yeah. I was gonna say something when it happened, but we were in the middle of a. But
Yeah.
yes, Sean Gory and the Gory Gang brought his zombie minions and raided our chat here on Twitch.
Oh,
Rated
here we
our
go.
chat
We're
on
talking about
Twitch.
zombies again.
Thanks so much to
Oh,
Sean for doing
right.
that. But yeah, no, I would. I could probably use that as an excuse to buy one. But I guess it's less about writing it off as a business expense and convincing my wife that it is an expense that I should even, be.
That actually is a business
That's
expense.
the hard part.
I mean,
Yeah.
if you've got the PC, honestly, I don't think you need the Steam Deck. But if
I
you're
like
kind of
the
like,
idea to be able to play anywhere though. That's kind of.
oh no,
cool.
it's like I definitely
The mobile
believe
gaming
that
aspect of
every
it, yeah.
game is benefited from being able to be portable in some way or shape or form. Yeah.
And I think Mole Maiden definitely. We talked about it when
Mhm.
we were at Cleveland Gaming Classic. I mean, it lends itself perfectly to Switch. I mean, I see that as like a top selling Switch game. I mean, it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
not that it wouldn't sell anywhere else, but like it just feels like what I mean?
Right.
Like just feels
Yeah.
like I should be playing this on the Switch. So
I mean, I'm a huge Nintendo fan, so
yeah.
if I can get Mole Maiden on a Nintendo system, that would just be a life fulfilling dream accomplished. That'd be awesome.
So how does that
Hmm.
process happen? Then what would have to happen next for you to see that go to the next
Yeah, I was
stage?
thinking
how
that same thing.
how does
Yeah.
game development work in that way? Like right now, it's a
Yeah.
well,
So
first of all, we
right
want people
now,
to wish list it on Steam, right? Like
yeah,
definitely,
that's the big thing is to garner wish lists and build up that Twitter clout. That's
yeah.
one way to like kind of sell yourself as a more credible game developer. The other thing is to win some awards, which was accomplished at the Cleveland Gaming Classic. I did win an
Yeah,
award at that show, and that was thank you. I feel very, very blessed to have won something. I'm very happy with that. And then just going around and building exposure, sending out press kits to different online journalists, going on podcasts like this one. And then big podcast, yes. And then after that, you can go down a couple of different ways to build up some form of revenue to fund your project. You can do the crowdfunding way. I'm a bit iffy about that. I still have to research it more. You can go down the publisher route, which is what I believe is the most safest, like the safest option to do. And then there you can enter like different festivals like the Independent Game Festival to win like some prize money, or apply for different like indie funds and stuff like that. But to get to that point, first you have to have, if you're a new game developer, you have to have a pretty decent game built already. If you're a much more well-established developer or indie studio, you can probably get away with like just one vertical slice. That was the whole reason why I made Mole Maiden for my capstone project, was because I felt like I wanted to finish that and I wanted to have a good vertical slice of the game ready to go like right out of school. So if I wanted to, I could start pitching to things. But you come out of school, you go right into your master's, you're kind of like, oh, maybe I'll take some time to like polish things up here or there or fix that. But now that we're here, for me personally, I know that I'm in the point now where we have to start taking like those next steps. And so really the only thing really stopping you, in my experience, is yourself. Is just kind of like your level of confidence, or your your self validation or belief or whatever is. I mean, I think for me it was winning the award at the Cleveland Gaming Classic and just seeing like the unanimous positive reception from the public. That was like, okay, we're ready. Let's do it. Let's just stop dragging our feet and do it. So that's where we're at now.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's super
Well
cool.
deserved.
And how
Thank
long?
you. Thank you very
How
much.
long of a process do you think it'll be? Like, when do you think we'll be able to see or purchase the game on Steam? I mean, I know that's probably hard to pinpoint exactly, but
Early 2025. That's my deadline I've set for
Okay.
myself. Yeah.
okay.
Nice.
Like January, maybe like late spring, but the deadline I've set myself to hit beta and start playtesting and finishing those last stages of polishing is next October, so like a year from now. And I think that that's a totally reasonable goal to hit. Like I have like a whole year left. That I can totally achieve that in that time. But throughout that process, I plan to release a couple more newer demos to release. Like next February, I am going to be, I've already signed up to be on Steam Next Fest, and I want to have a new demo of a new area for people to play, because the current one has been up for a long time, and I feel like it's time to like show something new and kind of like get people to see like how far you can push this movement system that I've already made. And I'm very excited about that. So that's what's in the works right now. Ooh, little announcement.
Yeah.
Nice. Heard it
That's
here
so
first.
cool. Can you do like 2 demos at a time? I don't know how that works.
I don't
So if you like,
think so. I don't think so.
Okay.
Unless you like
think Steam
make the
allows you
demo to load 2 different levels like at once. So you
Right.
could like
It
make
has to
the
be
level.
one.
Okay.
You could like say like, okay, which one do you want to do? Do you want to do Geocrest or do you want to do Tin? Those are the 2 different areas that I was thinking about. So you could do
Right.
that. Yeah.
And so, just talking a little bit about the game specifically now, we'll talked a lot about the development of it. I would classify this as like a Metroidvania. Is that correct to say?
Yeah, I'd
Which
say
is
so.
Pretty much the combination of, for those who aren't familiar, Metroid, Castlevania,
And Dig
type
Dug.
of games,
And Dig Dug, yes.
where it's like a large kind of almost an open world type of situation. Not open world, but you know what I mean, where there's maps, but it's all still from like a side scrolling kind of adventure.
Yeah,
But
and
it
your
can go-
ability to navigate it is dictated by what abilities you have on your character.
Yeah.
So like navigation plays a very big part in how you interact with the game. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
the mechanics are really fun. Like
Thank you.
again, they're very difficult with a keyboard.
With the keyboard and mouse.
But even with a keyboard, like I was starting to grasp it. It's like kind of, I mean, just how you jump up and you grab into the dirt and start drilling, and and the way that you tunnel around was a lot of fun. So tell us a little bit about kind of like the story then. So we know that this is about Penny, and she's trying to be like her big sister.
Something about
I
her
guess,
sister.
she looks up to.
Yeah.
Tell us the story behind it.
Yeah, so the story is essentially like an fantasy, like Pokemon or Karate Kid, where you're constantly training to achieve some better version of yourself, right? And so Capra came about. She was originally, when I was in the drafting stages, she was originally Penny's mom, but I made her Penny's sister because I wanted her to enact some level of theming, right? Like, this is someone who I've grown up, who I've constantly like looked up to and admired. Like, this is the person I want to be just like. And so that's where this that was kind of like where the foundation kind of laid itself out. And then the fighting aspect of it just kind of came from the fact that I wanted to have like these really big and bombastic boss fights that were kind of inspired by the puzzle like element of like the Punch-Out series. Like I love Punch-Out. I love those bosses. I think it's one of the best games ever. Yeah. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out is I Will Die on This Hill. It is the best NES game. I will die on that hill.
Oh, wow.
I love that game so much.
That's a bold statement.
Yeah, it's a bold statement, but I'm going to stick to my guns on that one. And so that was kind of like, well, if they're fighting anyway, let's just lean into that and make it like make this world, this culture that centers around fighting, but not as like a not in like a violent sense, but more as like a sport, right? Like I didn't want Penny to like, you know, go around killing people or whatever. Like I wanted it to be like everybody was like very supportive of each other. Like we're sparring, but we're sparring because we want to see each other improve, or we're sparring because, you know, I see you, I respect you as an opponent, and I want to see you. You know, I want to see what you can do. Like this game's world, like this was kind of like one of the first worlds where I sat down and was like, okay, what's the culture of the people there? And the culture that I settled on was everybody in the world that Mole Maiden takes place in R&D Mine is supportive of one another in some way or another. Like that's why stadiums are always filled to the brim with spectators, and when you like look in the background, you can see them like flying around and getting like super duper antsy, because people really get into supporting each other. And that kind of, and then there's more lore that kind of comes from like, oh well, they had to be that way because they live underground and there's very limited space, and you don't want to be a bother and inconvenience to the community, and but that's just logistics. Like you can read about that in the Mole Maiden lore book that will inevitably come out at some point or something.
Oh yes, okay. The Mole Maiden companion.
Ooh.
Yes,
Companion.
Ooh, like a
companion.
Oh wait, that would actually be so cool if you did like a comic book strip of it.
Oh yeah, I mean, I well, hold on, actually.
Uh-oh.
I did make one for the show.
Check that out. Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
And it was kind of like this
gosh.
brief introduction into like Penny's character and, you know, her motives.
Oh, that's so great.
And then, you know, you have all the characters at the end. Penny's like, I'm going to go achieve my dream. And then, of course, you have the Steam link at the
QR
end
code.
I
to
love
take
that.
people to that. Yeah.
Oh,
I think
that's so
Jeff,
great.
did I give you one? I thought I gave you one.
No, I think I don't think I took one. Or no, you know what? No, I can tell you right now if I've got one.
Oh, okay.
I've got all my stuff.
Yes, that's so cool.
I know I got several different things. I think all my stuff is in here.
Here we go. We're going to go down our CGC swag.
Right. Look
Well,
under
these
the
are all the cards and
look under the whiteboard, Jeff.
Under the whiteboard. That's where it is. It's taped to the back.
maybe I
like an
didn't
escape
get one
room.
of the comic books.
I want one of the comic books. Utah,
I
do
love
you
that
want
idea.
one?
That's a great idea.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I didn't get one, man.
Oh,
Or,
what?
or I did, and it was at the table with all of our other stuff, and someone
I'll
else
send you guys a PDF after the show and you can print
ended
yours
up
out.
with it.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Thank
That's
you.
fun.
So exciting.
Yeah.
All right.
So yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, I was just gonna comment also about how you talked about the sister being someone to look up to, and like this whole kind of family situation, and you talked about how you built this game by yourself, but then I also got to see your support system there at the gaming classic, the whole family involved in basically trying to help you kind of fulfill this dream. That was pretty cool. Tell me about that.
Oh,
So
that's phenomenal.
yeah, my family was my my staff for the show, and God bless them. I love them so much. They've always been so supportive of me. My mother was these were the roles. I was the person who was going to talk about the show. My brother was the guy who was supposed to work the room and bring people to the booth. And then my mom was the social media manager. And so we kind of devised this whole like plan in advance. I had to like teach them. I had to give them like pamphlets and packets about like, okay, here are the different characters. This is what like the XY statement is. This is how you can describe it. And this is like in case I'm not there, this is how you do this, or this is how you do that. And they totally went above and beyond the Call of Duty. The traffic at the show was awesome. Like I really couldn't have asked for a better show. It was just so great. And I made sure that I told all of them, like I was so thankful that they were there, because it was such a great weekend, and it really couldn't have been possible without them.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Well,
awesome.
We love
as
the
a
support system.
Yeah,
family
it's
man,
great.
it was
Especially when it's family.
heartwarming to see just how hard your brother was working out there selling the game, and your
Frankie,
mom.
he is something else. He wasn't even supposed to be there. Like it was just supposed to be my mom and I. And then Frankie calls in like a day before the show and is like, I'm gonna be there. Get me a pass. I'm gonna work the room. I'm like, yes, let's do it. Let's go. Because if there's one thing I know my brother can do, it's he knows how to talk to people and work a room. And so once that happened, I was like, this is going to be a very, very, very successful show. I know it.
Yeah, he's like a salesperson, and that kind of
He
like
is. He is. That's actually
right?
what his major is. Actually,
That's fun.
yeah.
And yeah, mom was taking pictures. I remember she made us pose for a picture that ended up on social. That was kind of fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I love seeing that kind of stuff. And it's like a whole family affair. Everybody's supporting you. Your dream there, which is kind of amazing. Cool. Well, you don't have the award nearby, do you?
No, I do.
You were
Actually,
going to show somebody.
I got it right
I
here.
wanted you to show it.
I got my little trophy table over here.
Oh yeah, there it is.
Oh, nice. There it is. Look at that.
Oh, let me put my headphones back on here. There it is.
Look at that.
Yes.
So cool.
Show the back too. Like this thing
Isn't
is
that
like,
nice? 3D printed in gold.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Uh-huh.
It's like
That's
Oversized
phenomenal.
Nintendo cart.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Such a great design. It's a
Yeah,
great
it
idea.
is. It's really cool. One of the things that I was researching the show before it all started, and one of the things that I was like constantly scouring the internet for was like, okay, like what do the awards look like? I want to know, right? And apparently they've changed them like every other year. Like one year there were these cool like glass like crystal gems or whatever, and then the year after that they were like this one, but they had like a 1-up block or a superstar on them. And then this year they went with these cool gold cartridges, and I like the theme that they went with this year. I really like that one.
Yeah, the tabletop developers got little meeples instead of the cartridge, so they were like big,
nice.
I said little
oversized
meeples, they're big
meeples.
Yeah,
oversized meeples. Yeah, that was a lot. It was pretty cool. Tom runs a really good show there, and
He's doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah. And it keeps
really
growing
did.
every year. So
he really did.
Really,
I mean,
really
it was a
excited.
big show. It was like 8,000 people or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so this was the first time you've been, right? Like,
that was also
in any
like
kind of capacity. Yeah, if you could have seen the little place that they came from and how it's grown into this, it's.
I saw like
years.
some old. I'm sorry, Utah. What'd you say?
No, just in a couple of years, Tom has gotten CGC to an amazing level.
Yeah, I saw, because I researched the show a lot before I came, because I really wanted to know like what I was in for, basically. Because I kind of was just like, I was kind of like sitting at my desk, like, should I sign up for this Cleveland Gaming Classic thing? I don't know. Should I take the plunge? And I ultimately did. And then after that, I was like, okay, I kind of got to research this. And it's cool because they started in this this small like, what was it, like a wedding venue or something?
Yeah, it was Wagner.
And then now they're in the IX Center on the first floor, not the basement, like how it was the basement before.
Well,
so it was an even bigger show.
It actually started even smaller than that. It started in his basement as a Tecmo Bowl.
Oh yeah, I think I saw that.
Right,
it was like a Tecmo Bowl.
And then more and more people got invited, and then it grew. Then they got a venue. Then the venue became a little con. And then it's a great story. And like I said, I mean, I couldn't wish more success on Tom for everything that he and his people put into that show, because it's phenomenal, and it's definitely like they pour their heart and soul into it, and
for sure.
To me,
it shows.
Yeah, it's
it
a
shows,
very
absolutely.
It's not glitzy and glammy. Like, I don't know. Like I go to Fan Expo, and it's like you pay to get in there, and we're Fan Expo ambassadors, and I'm about to. I'm not bad mouthing.
You're not bashing them. You're just.
I'm just saying it's a different
contrast.
It's a different experience, right? So I pay to get into Fan Expo, and there's a lot of cool spectacle and stuff. But then I also, there's tons of vendors I got to buy stuff from. I got to pay to see all of the different, celebrities and get signatures and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it can feel overwhelming, like it's a big, thing. Whereas this was a big event, but it still felt very much like a family event, very family friendly, family oriented.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody who came by that we ran into at our table, it was like, we didn't know each other from Adam, but it was just like, I don't know. It's just, we were all
So friendly.
just basking in the, in the love of video games together.
Yeah.
And it just brought everybody, it's a great community that he brings together there. So,
yeah. And
I
even
love it.
just on top of all that, just being in the Cleveland area in general, like
Yeah.
most of those things, you got to go out to Boston or the West Coast or something for that kind of stuff. But, just to see like a show that big in the area that I grew up in, I was like, man, I wish I knew about this sooner.
Yeah. Well, if you'd known sooner, it wouldn't have been as big.
It would have been as big.
I would have been in Tom's basement playing Tecmo.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
But
correct.
It's really great to see it growing. I think it's going to be even bigger and better next year. So I can't wait to see what they do. Well, Utah and Aaliyah, I don't know if you guys have any more questions. I know we're getting towards the end, typically, where we start to wind things down. Yeah, AJ, this has been great. I'm so glad that you stopped by. And I want to remind everybody to be checking Steam. Make sure you wish list it so that we can, build some clout there. Follow you on X or Twitter,
yes,
whatever
or
anybody
Twitter.
wants to call it
We're actually one follower away from hitting 100 followers on Twitter, which will be a real big milestone.
What?
So someone here,
Yay.
follow me on Twitter. Let's make it happen.
All right,
Make it happen. There's only one more.
Happen live here. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, can we pull it up?
I'm gonna see.
Can we
if
pull up my live sub feed?
Games Tasty, right? That's where we want
Yeah,
people
that's
to
the one.
follow.
Games Tasty. Oh, I'm already following. So
Yeah, I can't.
I
Yeah, it's
don't-
at
I don't even-
199.
We're still at 99?
followers. And
99
199
Someone's got to make the bot account. Let's make it happen.
we just need one more.
All right, we're gonna watch this live. Hold on, let's see if I can.
Oh, and I gotta pull this up too.
More.
It would probably
There
be
it
me, but I
is.
haven't even signed into Twitter in forever.
All right. So there it is.
One more.
All right, 99
Just
followers.
one.
There it
All
is.
right, if you're out there on the show, let's see. We've got 9 people in the audience.
more.
Chances are pretty good they're already following you because they probably followed you here.
Chances are pretty
for the
good.
show.
This is
But,
true.
Chances are pretty good.
All right, I just refreshed.
Just
on.
one
Come on.
more.
Come
Just
on.
one more.
Oh, actually, hold on a second. You know what I could do is I could jump over to one of our other, and I may not be following you from all of our accounts yet, but I don't want to.
Oh,
I don't want.
you don't
I
want
mean,
to
I'll
cheat.
do that
we
after.
want an authentic follower,
Yeah.
a person who
Right.
really fits the description. I'm sure.
Well,
I'm
look who you're
sure.
followed by Cleveland Gaming Classic,
Yeah.
Chris Totten, Little Nemo. We're trying to get him.
Yeah.
he's
I
gonna
haven't
come on
met
the
him
show.
yet. I looked for him at the show.
Yeah, I finally got to talk to him in person. We've talked
Oh,
through
did you?
Twitter, and so yeah, he's hoping to come on too. And then some guy, I don't know who this guy is, Utah, something crazy.
What?
He's probably some nerd.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, who
that
knows?
guy
You
is.
don't want to be associated with people like that.
Nah, probably not. Probably not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who names
I'll
their
try
kid
again, yeah.
Utah?
Seriously, that's a
Look,
state.
100
Hey,
100
100
Bam!
followers!
Yay!
go.
Let's go.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
What's
Oh
really-
wow! Thank
what's
you so
really-
much.
What's really great about that, I'm going to tell you, is that I was literally over here like debating whether or not to pull out one of the tabs and actually do it from the other one, but it happened before I could even.
That's
that's
great.
awesome.
That's great. We hit a major milestone on stream.
I wonder
That's
if we can
awesome.
see who the latest follower. Does it show us? I
Oh,
don't
and
know.
actually, I can pull it up right here.
I don't know who the most recent one
Wait,
is.
let's
but-
see.
Who's the lucky winner?
It wasn't me.
It was not.
It
me, I'm so
is-
sorry.
Drill. No, hold on. It's not showing.
It's not showing.
It's not showing. Let me refresh the page. I can't see it. It'll come eventually. Whoever that is, I don't know. I'll do something. I'll figure something.
Follow
out.
them back.
So while
You have to
while
tell
we're
him
talking
to
about
tell the
Twitter,
story about.
So-
Oh yeah. So
Is this
guess
a friend of yours?
I guess this is one of the people in my Discord community. I think this is Noah. It might be Noah. But when I came home the second day of the classic, I got this Twitter notification. Yeah, it's Noah. How you doing, bud? Good to see you, man. I got this notification from this YouTube channel that I just recently found that was also like a frequent goer to the classic called Oribox. And they posted, they were like, I saw this game at the Cleveland Gaming Classic and it's awesome. The movement tech looks so good and it has the potential to be just this amazing platformer. And that was just I didn't even ask them for any exposure. I just knew them, and I don't know who they were because they don't have their face or anything. So I don't know. It could have been anybody, but just to get that kind of tweet out of the blue was just that was the cherry on top for a really, really busy day. But I thought it was Noah because Noah was a real big Xbox fan, and the person who had the channel was an Xbox fan, and Noah was a very vocal supporter of Maiden at the show. So I texted the person and was like, is this Noah? And they're like, no, this is not Noah. And I'm like, oh, okay.
That's awesome. So
No,
I mean, it's
not
getting a
Noah.
lot of play. A lot of people are excited about it.
It's exciting. It's very
We
exciting.
got some claps from Larry Lee.
Thank you, Larry.
Oh yeah, that's my best friend. Let's go.
Well, there
Let's
you
go.
He was just clapping for you. Sorry, AJ. Don't worry about it. He was clapping for Aaliyah.
Yeah.
No, he was clapping for you.
I'm just
He was,
playing.
no, he was
that.
clapping for all of us because we put on a great show tonight, right?
That's right. But so speaking of games, and I'll go ahead and just kind of let me hold on a second. Let me fix something here now that we have.
Whoa.
Whoa,
yeah.
it's all four of us
Yeah, look at us.
in an equally spaced grid.
We're all about that here.
Yes.
No. So we talked a little briefly about some of the board games that were there as well. They won some meeples and things like that. One of those games that won an award was this Connected Clues, and I'm trying to remember which one they won. Best party game, I believe it was.
That makes sense.
And
game.
And I spoke with them, sat with them, and talked with them for a while. Told them about our game nights. I keep hitting the microphone. Sorry about that. Talking about our game nights that we used to do and how we're hoping to bring those back. So here's a little announcement. We're bringing those back to those of you who used to possibly watch those.
Wait, what are we bringing back?
Game night.
Game night.
Where we do the
game
Jackbox games and some other things, fun stuff like that.
Aaliyah was awesome at trivia.
We know Aaliyah was terrible. You're right. I was amazing. So good. Tune in to watch me.
As I am at driving in Halo 3.
There we go.
I'm kidding.
Yes.
No. Didn't you win one night though, or something? When Utah wasn't there, didn't you won?
Yeah, I won. But you know what? I directly correlate that with me somehow winning when we did the collab with Circle of Nerds at the All-Star Wars Trivia.
Oh my gosh, that's right. Yeah.
And I've never seen Star Wars, for those of you listening. I've recently watched.
This is Halo. This is a completely different universe, actually.
No.
Yeah,
I mean,
wait. Let me get my glasses for this one. Actually, it's a completely different cinematic universe.
You could consider them both science fiction, but Star Wars is
it's
more
science fiction. I understand a novice such as
insane.
yourself would get that mixed up, but
listen. I was proud of myself that I beat the two people. The two people.
Oh,
that
you're talking about at when we went with Circle of Nerds.
let's keep the show going.
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I beat these two.
Yes.
I beat these two at Star
You're pointing
Wars
the wrong
trivia.
way. You're pointing the wrong way.
No, it's the right way for me. Actually.
It's the right way for her.
No, if you take a look
So
at the
Connected
feed,
Here, listen to this. So you guys have to see if you can come up with this. So Connected Clues involves putting together two words that are connected by a word in the center. So if I was to say something along the like if I had George Michael and Michael Jordan, for example, then that would be George Michael Jordan, right? Because
Okay.
Who's George Michael Jordan?
stop. So the goal, if I remember correctly, and I don't probably, is that I have to give you a clue. I have to give you clues as to what the first word is and what the second word is, so that you'll say the one in the middle. Do you know what I mean?
I'm already
That
gonna
combines
watch
so-
this
them.
game.
Okay, I get
So
it.
it's taking that one category from Wheel of Fortune and turning it into. Isn't that one category
Yep.
Wheel of Fortune
Before and
where it's
after.
the-
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So here
I
we
don't
go.
watch
You
Wheel
guys
of
ready?
Fortune.
Okay.
Yep.
This
George
is
Michael Jordan.
This is this is the big game and something your mom might do to your hair when you were a kid.
Super Bowl, the big game bowl.
Super
right.
Bowl cut.
Super Bowl cut.
Ah,
A bowl cut, right? Do you guys did you
Pew,
guys
pew, 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 pew.
bowl cuts are
I get
more
it.
from our that's where it's like cut
yeah,
straight around.
it's a
and
bowl. You
got-
stick a bowl on your head and you cut it
Yeah,
around.
Back in
yeah.
the old days.
This
You
is
that's
stick
very
a
yeah.
ball on your head and you
self-explanatory.
cut around.
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right, here you go. Ready? Here's another one. No,
No,
I'm not doing that one.
thank you.
I'm not doing that one either. Hold on. Oh, yeah, I'll do this one. All right. So he was a famous conqueror and Scooby-Doo. A famous Egyptian.
Famous conqueror.
I don't
and
know if he's a
Scooby-Doo.
conqueror, I guess, but yeah, Egyptian.
An Egyptian conqueror.
Was he an
And
Egyptian? He
Scooby-Doo?
was in Egypt. He
I don't. I'm not
Maybe
brushed up
you
on
should
my
do a different
Egyptian
one so
lore.
that way
He
we
was
can
in
like.
Egypt.
There's a
The only
place
Conqueror
Egyptian
in Egypt named after
ruler I
him.
know about is Cleopatra.
No,
Conqueror.
then there's a whole city named after him now. I believe it's named after him,
See,
or he's named after it.
Alexander the Great. Mystery Machine.
No, what type of dog is Scooby Doo?
I don't know.
Dane.
Oh, Great
He's a-
Dane.
Great Dane. Yeah. Anyway, so that's a fun game, and it's something that we can play online, right? With other like people in the audience can jump in, do all that kind of fun stuff, which is
You could
is
totally
great.
do like a group Zoom meeting or something with that.
Yeah.
Aaliyah
Well,
is
we do.
not
we
liking
do.
this game
We
at
do our
all.
game night.
I'm
right here
as
on
bad
YouTube
at that
and
game
Twitch.
as I am at trivia.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And we play Jackbox with the audience and stuff like
Nice.
that. And so that's coming back on October 30th. Whoa, everything's
close to
Aaliyah's,
falling
falling
Aaliyah's
apart.
not having anything with connect. She's not connecting no clues at all.
No,
There's
clues.
no
connecting, no
dots.
clues.
The dots didn't connect.
But there was
Um,
another game there, and I saw these guys at Con on the Cob this weekend,
Yeah.
Oh,
and it's a similar game. It's called Goes Both Ways, and it basically does kind of the same thing. The goal is for me to try to get you to guess the word in the middle, and it's very similar to that. So,
Right.
Utah and I are the problem children.
well, yeah. Hey, I'm just glad Matt is not here with us tonight when I said that. So, I can't wait till we
Fair.
play that game with him in the audience.
with
so that'll be interesting.
right.
I
All
know,
right.
same.
Yeah, every other answer will involve some sort of toilet humor. Uh,
Or farts.
all right, but yeah, so game night coming back October 30th. We're going back to our yeah. I still have that t-shirt we made from the last Jackbox game.
Oh, what was it?
Jackbox.
What did it say?
We'll talk about it after the show. Jackbox Party Pack 10 comes out October 19th. Make sure you check it out. We're going to be playing it right here October 30th with you.
Mhm.
So please come back. Which
Come back.
basically means we are here every Monday starting 2 Mondays from now at 9:30
Wait, I
Um,
didn't sign up for that.
with the podcast is RealLY live, and then game night the Monday after, and then so it'll alternate between the game night but there's always a source of entertainment of some sort with us on 9:30 on Mondays.
Alternating world gone geeky goodness.
That's right. Subscribe on your favorite viewer thing, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook. We're going to end up at some point, we're going to settle on one, whichever one people seem to be flocking towards, which right now YouTube is very much in the lead.
Seems
So
like YouTube.
Yeah, let's go
yeah.
YouTube.
I have
Yeah.
a feeling
All
that
my
that is where
gang
we're
out
going to end
there.
up
Tube crew.
for sure. But either way, please subscribe, follow, so that helps us the same way it helps by wish listing AJ's game. People will know what we're doing, and that you will be reminded when those shows come up. Make sure you follow us on all of the socials at World Gone Geek. We're everywhere. We're going to be doing more TikTok, putting Aaliyah in charge of that. I think we're going to figure that out. We got to put the less seasoned the person age wise
right.
into charge.
We're gonna get Aaliyah on the tick and the talk.
She can
doesn't
upload
Tick.
she can upload that video she took of us all sitting still in frame to
Yeah.
TikTok.
Yes,
before the
yes.
show.
That sounds like the perfect tiki-talkie for that
Oh,
TikTok
no.
thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's on the Instagram.
Oh, all right.
That's on the gram.
Yeah.
It's
I
on
made
the
sure to
gram.
tag you, AJ.
Instagram.
Awesome. Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't have me do it. I'm over here saying the Instagram. Like, I got the migraine. Isn't that what old
You're just
folks say?
putting the in front of everything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So make sure you join us on the internet webs, and you'll find us somewhere
on the webs,
on the
on the
just press-
socials.
just press the any key. We're great. Sorry.
Where is it? I don't see
What
any.
about
I don't see the any
AJ?
key.
Where can they find
Yeah,
you?
exactly.
Oh,
AJ,
yes,
Tell them all about where you're at.
Yes, I am on Instagram at Tasty Games. I am on Twitter at Games Tasty because Tasty Games was taken. I am
who?
on YouTube. You can find me there. You can subscribe to the Tasty Games channel there. And if you want to keep up with some pixel art goodness, you can follow me at Tasty Art.
All right. Very cool. Thanks again for being here, man. It was awesome to spend some time with you and learn more about that whole process. And I can't wait to play the full game, man. I can't
Thank
wait
you.
to fire up my Switch and
Yeah.
play it for sure.
You get right.
I mean,
Moment on
that's gonna
Switch.
be really
That'll
cool.
be it.
Yeah,
But,
sure.
same.
no,
Excited.
even on Steam, I promise to plug in a controller and give it a fair chance. Thanks again to everybody who came out to watch the show tonight. To those of us, you guys listening on the podcast, we appreciate you as well. Everybody, take care. We'll see you next time.
Bye. I am waiting.